as far as founder profiles, are there any industries that Kiwi is leaning into a little heavily more than others? Because again, as a founder, like you just said, they should do their homework as to who they actually want to partner up with. But is there anybody that Kiwi is looking to partner up with a little bit more right now than others?
I think as we are seeing technology evolve, and we have deep tech and AI, and I think we haven't even got into the fever of quantum, taking us over, right? So
Talking about
our
quantum, you talking about quantum computing?
Yeah, quantum computing, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think
Mm,
every industry vertical today, you just can't, survive if you're kind of like, if you have a cool idea, right? I think the cool idea needs to be differentiated with something which is also cool tech, not just because it's cool, but you got to figure out a way as how could you apply, right? And I wrote a LinkedIn post that like AI is the sizzle, but applied AI is the steak. And what are we all looking for, or paying, or willing to
mm,
pay for? Steak, not for the sizzle, right? So I think there are some really really cool technology solutions that are coming up. Embrace it, um, and I think be watchful about how it's evolving. Understand and I think our head of AI, he does a fantastic job in basically telling when not to over expect, or what is the over expectation from even technologies that are coming up. There are a lot of models that are still getting proven, right? So I think what is more important, for I would say, where we look at is, are those founders taking into consideration all these evolving deep technologies that are coming up, right? And how are they embracing it, and how are they willing to build use cases for their own business? I think that's very critical. I think what I think will eventually win the battle is the battle of use cases, and the technology solutions are going to put such a level of democracy among all the founders and funders, that if you really want to stand out there, you need to have the level of use case applications that your business is offering to your end consumers.
What's the big trend y'all preparing for?
Man, I'm gonna bore you with this. Well, we all talked about picks and trends, and I know where Sanders ended up. So, who picked up that trend, huh? Who picked up that trend? Anyway, um, so look, I don't know. The next wave, I think, is. I mean, and this might be boring, but I think I see this as a culture shift among some of the founders and funders that we talk to. I think that they're going to be team-driven startups. Less founder celebrity, more fundamentals. Again, it kind of points out to what happened with Sanders, but man, it's going to be solid systems. Relentless execution, and you got to have a deep bench. Now, I'll take. Well, why did Florida Gators won the national basketball championship? Look at what the bench gave them. That's real. So if you look at the championship dynasties, it's all been those deep benches that are provided, right?
Oh
So I
yeah,
right.
think that
Absolutely.
I think that era of that solo, startup superstar is fading. I think smart investors will look for startups where the culture, the operating rhythm, and the team are the stars. It's just not one charismatic, flamboyant founder on a sizzle reel. No, I
gotcha.
think.
So there's no
I
more the
think that,
guy from WeWork walking around barefoot. That's
no, I
over.
didn't want to say
Oh
that, but
gosh, yeah. Get rid of
yeah,
him.
Adam
yeah,
Newman barefoot. Yeah, like
yeah, man. I think rings are not going to be one with flashes anymore. I think they're going to be one with fundamentals. They're going to be one with the right processes in place. Because at the end of the day, even if you look at all the deep technologies, that's what they are, based out of. They are based out of, very, very deep models, which is not something that you can fluff around. Well, you saw what DeepSeek did, right? So I think
Yeah.
these are some learnings that are coming out very, very strong, that everyone does not have to have that founder celebrity, or I've got 10 million Instagram followers. Those things help. But at the end of the day, what you're building needs to be real. It's got to be the real deal.
I know that Kiwi Tech is a technical partner. Do you guys actually invest physical cash? Like, do you have an investment vehicle part of the business, like an arm that actually gives out cash to founders?
No, we don't. The answer is no. But we do have a really good network of investors. A lot of them are single family offices and early stage angel investors that invest directly, cash into our startups, into our portfolio companies. And then as much as I would hate to say we don't invest cash, but just look at it. Just look at this in a real life scenario. Okay, you're a startup looking to build an MVP, and you budgeted it, and you say it's going to be $100,000,
Mhm.
right? And you come to the Kiwitech model, right? And we say, oh, you know what? You only need 50K in cash, and we'll take the 50K in services exchanged for equity, right?
Mhm.
So, which is, I always used to call it like that's the Kiwi coin, like if I would, I would be in the crypto world, and if I would have actually tokenized, all the services into a
Mhm.
coin, we would be sitting on about 200 million plus Kiwi coins out there, right? So when
Kiwi.
I say yes, we don't invest cash, but
You
there
invest that
is
sweat
a
equity.
direct cash. Yes, but there is direct cash that we're saving, which now you don't have to raise for that amount, or you could potentially use that amount that you saved because we just got that in exchange for equity. Instead of paying like a typical vendor, you could have used that $50,000 for marketing or for a key
Yeah,
hire.
you
Or,
can reallocate it into
Right.
the venture. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Your
So
boots on the your boots on the
no
ground with
cash,
the
but it's
investment.
still cash. But it's Kiwi coin.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's a really really first of its kind model that we've come across. Very interesting, but I guess you guys who have the technical background to pull it off, right? So I wouldn't suggest that for a traditional VC. You might lose your shirt. These guys are really talented in what they're doing, so I would definitely say look in the Kiwi. Motion, we've had you here for a while. Your time is extremely valuable because we do have more games for you to play. You're not getting away that easy, man. All right,
Oh,
you're
geez.
a smart guy, but now you're going to come into our world in a sec. So
Oh my gosh.
before we wrap this up, Motion, what I want you to do is basically tell our audience how they could reach you, what's the best way to contact you, and most importantly, let them know don't waste your time, right? Like you said, don't come with something that you guys are not interested in. But you know what? This is your pitch to our audience.
On LinkedIn is the best way to reach out to me. Mohsin Syed Kiwitech. I make it very easy. Kiwi, I say, is the best fruit after apple. So like
Nice, nice.
hopefully I could say kiwi is the next best thing after apple in general as a business word, hopefully, but that time's about to come, hopefully in the next few years for us. We're waiting on that. So yeah, just Mohsin Syed on LinkedIn, Kiwi Tech. My name should pop up as one of the few first top connections there. So yeah, just reach out. We're always willing to talk. We're always willing to meet. And I'm not sure if I've shared this over the last 13 years of building this program. Our team has reviewed close to 400,000 startup founders, and we've
Oof.
actually spoken to 80,000 startup founders, and we've actually met people in person, almost about 12,000 of them. And I think at some point of time, our database uh, is a very valuable, like wall of emotions that talks back to us, as like to see where those founders, like sometimes like I kind of get a kick out of it, like someone's kind of ringing the bell at New York Stock Exchange, or someone saying, oh, we just become a unicorn, and I see that, oh, 7 years ago I had an opportunity to sit down and have a coffee with him. It- so I think those are the moments, man. So we're always looking forward to speaking and connecting with founders and funders. So yeah, just look us up on Kivitech, on LinkedIn.
And also, what we'll do you one better. We'll make sure to link your information in the description
That'll be
below.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This way, you guys, as you're watching, reach out to him. Great company, and their portfolio is just wicked. Like I'm
Yeah,
not even selling it. Like
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
let you guys see it for
Thank
yourself.
you. Thank you. Means a lot.
You're probably using the app that they built, man. So what do you want me to say? You know what I mean? But they're the truth. But like we said, Motion, thank you for your time in the upfront. But now again, you're going to come into our world. So one of the first things we like to do with being television producers, former television producers, we built our own streaming app, as you know, Recruit. We like to play a game called Sequel or Stop. Very simple format. What we do is basically we do a real-time reaction watching a movie trailer from a particular franchise or reboot in real time. And we watch it. And at the end of the trailer, we determine should we continue to with this franchise or just cut the All right.
Oh gosh. All right.
So, Motion, if you don't mind, we're going to be bringing it up right now, and then we'll start in a second.